Hi, I'm Jonathan Horsley with Music Radar, and we're here at Jackson headquarters with Lee Malia of Bring Me the Horizon, and we're going to open a box, or I'm going to open a box.
Yeah, I'll watch.
What could be inside this box? Well, we know for a start that you have moved to Jackson, Lee, so you can tell us why you moved to Jackson for a start while I start cutting.
So I was with a firm for a few years, and then I guess like my contract and stuff kind of ended, and my contact retired who worked there, and then I just became like a bit of free agent. So I just like played whatever for a while, and I bought like a Rhodes just because I like them. So I just bought one on like eBay, and I was playing that live for a bit, and then Tim, who works at Jackson now, who I've known for like 20 years, just got in contact and I'm like, oh, I started working for Jackson. I've seen you playing a Rhodes. Do you fancy like working with us to do some new, like there's a new promo for the soloist and stuff. So started doing that and started like, he sent me a couple of guitars to play live and that, and then just got into the chat of, would I be interested in making a custom, like a signature? So yeah, pretty easy.
I remember when I bought my Rhodes, I considered it a midlife crisis guitar a little bit, because but I was 26. But as a Glaswegian, you tend to die young, so that kind of like qualified it as such. But was that a little bit too ostentatious? Because they balance really well and they play really well. But or did you wanted something maybe less ostensibly metal?
What, for this or
for this?
Yeah, I've always been into like quite classic stuff, but I love like your traditional, like when you think of Jackson, you think of like the Rhodes and like the dinky shape and all that sort of stuff. So I love them all, but then I thought if I'm going to make like a signature guitar, I might as well try and do something a bit different, because I mean they've got so many of them shapes already, so it'd just be another colour variant maybe, or a couple of tweaks. So I thought I'll try and find something a bit different, and that's when I found the Surfcaster shape, and I really like offset guitars, and yeah, we just went with that, and then started developing it into something pretty cool.
Right, Somerset and Mills here, opening the box, as they advise us not to do. Yeah. We have a gig bag.
More within.
And you didn't see anybody playing the Surfcaster?
No, I'd looked and I saw that the one person I found playing him was, I forgot his name, the guy from Gajira. He played with Surfcaster like a while ago, but I didn't see like many modern players like playing him apart from him. So I just thought it might be a cool idea. But the one I originally saw was like the Charvel with the lipstick pickup and stuff, and that's what gave me the idea. But then, like you mentioned, Scott Ian had done that, and I didn't even know.
Right, so we have it. It's just completed the London Marathon with the top end here. I'm also giving the game away as to what this is, so we're really terrible at unboxing videos, and we'll probably never be asked to do another one. But here goes nothing. Do not consume, as they always tell you. And here we have it. Now, a lot of people will have seen this already, so we're not really spoiling the show. But I mean, how does it? It feels pretty lightweight as well. So I mean, is that, I'm not very, you never know how wood goes, but like a Kume is always quite lightweight. Was that something that you requested, or was it?
No. So like I've always like traditionally liked heavier guitars, but as our sets have got longer, we're now playing like between an hour and a half and 2 hours. It's like it's very handy to have a guitar that's not going to break my back. So definitely the lightweight does help. Do you want me to put that on there?
Right. Okay. This is deceptively authentic as to what it is like in the reviewer's carpet.
Yeah.
Right. Can I give it to you, and then I'll let you talk us through some of the specs here, because is it like we talk about the neck shape and something. It's a neck through build, is it?
Yeah. Well, it's a set neck.
Set neck, sorry.
Yeah, so I think traditionally these are usually bolt on, but because it comes with like your standard 10s on, but I use super thick strings, and I've used them with bolt-ons before, and you get a bit of movement sometimes. Do you know when you hit a string too hard and you actually hear it, like the neck slightly move? So I really wanted a set neck. It just seems to have less scope for movement, but it sounds good to me as well. So yeah, set neck. I'd played. So I used to like really thick necks, but I think this is a good like comfy medium between like a shred guitar and then a bit of chunk.
It feels really approachable though, because it's also got this kind of open coat. I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but we do have this sort of open pore finish here.
Yeah, but see that's another thing that not many people we've not really told. But so I wanted a finish that I know I was going to wear and like relic over time. So this is why I went for this finish, because I really want, like my ones that I've been touring already, the prototypes and stuff, they're already starting to wear away and stuff, to know where I've sweat. And I think it would be cool, like in a few years, everyone's will look different, because obviously how everyone plays is a little bit different, but I really like relic guitars, so I wanted them to basically relic a bit faster than 30 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. It looks good now, but it's going to look even better when it's totally trashed.
Yeah, exactly.
In many respects. Now, talk to us a little bit about the bridge, because this, like I said to you earlier, is a bit of a BB King move to be so on point. Because are you a real stickler for intonation? Especially, I mean, you're tuning down. What are you tuning down to?
I think like the lowest we go is like G, which is pretty low.
Yeah. You said that as if other people go, that is really low.
But people go like octave down, E and stuff now. So yeah. Well, we do have sections where we go low, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's still, you still consider the guitar a mid-range instrument though, don't you?
Yeah.
More to the point. But,
yeah, definitely, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, the bridge.
So this was more a thing, I had it on like an old guitar I bought, but when we're playing live, and you know, if you just need to tune like quickly between songs and stuff, because of like adrenaline and quite heavy-handed, sometimes I'd over twist and then you can't just twist back, you have to go back down and back up, and I'd end up having to stretch the string really quick and do it again. But I just find with these, like, if I do overdo it, I can just twist that down. It just makes tuning fast live so much easier, because you've got these fine tuners, and obviously, like, you get it as close as you can, and then you can just tweak it here. And I just found it so much more user-friendly. Do you know, when I'm you've got like 20 seconds to get like everything back in tune in between songs, it just comes in really handy, and that's mainly why. And I think they're cool.
Yeah, and these witch's hat knobs are
a bit retro looking, but I like how.
Yeah, because it's got this kind of like old school mott vibe about it. You know, it feels a bit. It's been, you know, obviously it's a brand new Jackson, but it has a sort of pawn shop find. A little bit about it.
That's what I like about it. Yeah, and like the brushed light metal and all that, and the like big pole pieces and stuff. I think it looks a bit retro, but
yeah. I mean, one thing you can't see, but it is the compound radius fingerboard as well. Like all current Jackson, 12 to 16 inches in the radius and jumbo frets. Yeah. So it's still very much I mean, it could be a shreddable guitar.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not the biggest shredder, but I think you could easily, especially with these strings on, it feels like, to be fair, a dream to play. So I think the neck's really comfortable, and
it's pretty slippery, and you've got locking tuners at the back.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like from touring with the guitars and that, it's just so quick to change a string, and you don't have to worry about winding it loads and stuff. You just unlock that, put a little bit through and snip it, and it's just stuff that makes life easier, but is also like efficient. You know what I mean? It's like it just works for me, so I thought, why not incorporate it into the like.
And it is a cool headstock.
Yeah,
it is
definitely. Yeah.
I mean, the Jackson 6-in-line headstock and that headstock are two of the coolest on there.
Yeah, I'd not even seen this headstock until I like found the Surfcaster, and I'm like, oh. I just think it stands out a bit, because like I know if I went into a shop and this wasn't mine, I'd not expect to see Jackson right there. If you saw the guitar from far away, and I think it's cool. It like can catch your eye.
Well, design-wise, it makes you think a little bit more of a Rickenbacker.
Yeah.
It's got like that square sort of paddly bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Thing and go right pickups. Let's talk about. So we've got what's this one like? These are both Jackson designs.
Yeah,
wired for the guitar.
Yeah. So these are like a custom set that we went back and forth on to make, and it's like not a super hot pickup. It's a bit more, I'd say, like it's a bit lower gain. It's not like super hot, and it's really open sounding. So even if you have high gain, you strum like, that's not in tune, but you strum like a chord, you hear every note. And we went backwards and forwards on it, because one of the first ones they sent. It's hard to describe, but like I describe it as like it felt like not as open and a bit compressed and stuff, more than what I wanted. So we finally got to this, and it's just really like clear, open. It's got a good like mid-range to it, like an aggressive mid-range. So if anything, it feels more gainy than it is. Do you know what I mean? Because it's quite attacky. Yeah. But yeah, and then it's got like the coil split, which I've always it's that one, isn't it? This one. The coil split, which I've always liked when you split this and pair it with like the P90 for clean stuff, right. You get like a really nice sound. Yeah.
Because you're all about the dynamics, because it's one thing, it's always deceptive as to how much gain goes on, but I mean, there's not nothing there, but there's not as much as what maybe people would think, you know, because I guess again, if you are tuning down that low, the more gain you add, the mud, you can get a little bit muddier. Yeah,
so like my gain has always been basically like based on like a Marshall 800 boot, and then boosted like an overdrive into it. And even till now, I'm using like I'm using QC, you know, quad cortex now, but it's still based on like a modded 800 or a modded old super lead or something like that. Yeah, so it's that like mid-range attack that I feel like adds all the aggression. Do you know, like
see, I mean, people look at you as being at this vanguard of like this some contemporary metal or metalcore or whatever they want to call it. But at the same time, you're really kind of like a classic metal rock guy at heart. You know, a JCM 800. You know, it's kind of your kind of tone. It's kind of almost like Kerry King's signature Marshall type tone. Exactly, you know, where you've got that little bit more.
There's more. I feel like it doesn't have to always be gain that adds the aggression. It's like the style you play it, and like I say, if you get the mid range, this high like a higher mid range attack right, it adds so much more like bite to it. Is what I call it. I don't know what the technical term is, but yeah. I feel like it's such a reactive sound.
Yeah, it feels physical. It's got a physical force of nature, doesn't it? And it's like volume is a big part of that as well. You know, because we don't really. I mean, do you have can you still play with you playing bigger venues now than you did recently? Can you get away with a lot of stage volume? And do you like to have it?
So, because our stage setup got to a point where we couldn't even have cabs on stage because there's screens and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And so then I had to move to having cabs like in rooms backstage, mic'd up, which everyone hated because like I had it blaring. So everyone backstage were just like, you couldn't even do anything when we were playing. So eventually I had to move to the quad cortex, but I've used like captures of my amp setup in them to play live and stuff. So the only volume on stage now is in my in-ears.
Right.
So I can have it as loud as I want then, basically into my head.
But that takes a bit of getting used to. I mean, in-ears would be. That's like the time when you really are. I mean, you might have been big by that point, but that's when you almost feel professional.
Yeah, exactly. You know? I mean, it took me a long time to I think it took a couple of tours where I kept switching between in-ears and monitors because I just at first in in-ears I felt like I wasn't in a gig, you know, because you kind of like separated from everything. But as soon as you get a good monitor guy, we have like crowd mics and stuff, so you get all the atmosphere in there, and now it's brilliant. But it took me a while, but I had to switch because I was going to go deaf if not, and because I used to have my amps loud and my monitors loud, and it was just crazy.
It's ensuring against the future. You know, and I love how these are set into these sort of chrome surrounds. Now, talk to us a little bit more about this one as well, because how much would you use that neck pickup, that sort of P90 style?
So I'll be honest, when I use the neck pickup, I'd say 99% of the time it's for clean. Like I don't really ever use a neck pickup with distortion because I'm not playing like slash leads and you know what I mean, stuff like that, which I like some people might. But I also like with a P90 in the neck, there's not too much bass. So do you know if it's a humbucker, sometimes it can be like it can get muddy. Whereas with the P90, it keeps it a little bit like less bass in there, so there's more clarity, I find anyway. And it just sounds really nice for cleans. And I like a really clean as well, so that works really well.
I mean, you're deceptively classy when it comes to that, you know. I mean, so it's not like, you know, it's like you're the classicist, you know, when it comes to that sort of thing. You know, the bound neck.
Yeah.
And are these luminlay?
No, they're not. So on the first one I ever had made, they bought luminlay, is that how you say it?
I think so.
Yeah, they glow in dark.
You try to say that after a few years.
But because we wanted to keep like the price of the guitar so people can afford it, a little bits like that, we sacrificed to keep the cost. Like to an affordable price because we want people to buy it. You know what I mean? And not be like.
But they're also a little bit more old school as well because they're really quite large.
Yeah.
Black dots in the ivory there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, but it still looks sick.
Yeah, but that is the point though. Is you're playing the exact same guitar and it's pretty affordable, isn't it? I mean,
I think it's great, and we didn't really have to sacrifice much. It was just like little bits like them, and I think this is plastic rather than metal, and little things like that just to keep the cost down, so that we can actually make it so people can buy one without having to be skint.
You get changed from $1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can pick up a pedal and maybe.
Yeah, it's awesome as well. It's not like it doesn't feel like we've skimped on anything.
No. Have you recorded with it yet?
I have with the ones I've used. Yeah, so the first prototype. It'll be on the last CD. Yeah, so I've had it for a while now. So when we've been on the road writing and stuff, I've definitely recorded little bits with it, and it's great. And it's my favourite. So like in my house, I've got a little setup, and whenever I pick up a guitar, it's always this one because it's like my ideal sound. You know what I mean? Straight away. So yeah, I love it.
And one thing that I always go on about is how convenient the heel-mounted truss rod adjustment wheel is.
Oh yeah, that's
I mean, you hopefully have somebody to do that for you because I always take fright when adjusting the roof and the neck, but it is pretty useful.
Yeah,
on these guitars.
That was another thing because like when you're traveling so much, touring and flying and getting them shipped and stuff, there can be movement. I mean, I've not had any trouble with these yet, so I don't even think we've had to alter one. But it's just so much easier there than having to unscrew something. And it's just I've tried to make everything easier. Like these lock-in is easier, this is easier, and this is easier. It's just like because I've used it on tour, it's all things that I've noticed that playing it every night make my life and Joey, my tech's life, a lot easier.
Well, you've played it on stage, you've recorded with it now, so the only one thing left to do is gift one to Jack White.
Jack White?
Yeah. Which seems to be the done thing now with and swap them.
Yeah, I won't mind.
And see what see what goes.
Yeah.
Excellent. So there you have it. This is the Malia Surfcaster. Is that the official title of this guitar?
I think it's the LM-87. Which is me. And the year I was born.
Yeah, the year you were born.
Yeah, so I've just kept it simple, not put a big signature on the back, and so then you wouldn't even know it was mine.
Well, exactly. Exactly. It's a guitar that anyone really could pick up though, and make it their own, and that's kind of the point, isn't it? So
exactly.
Canvas.
Yeah, definitely.